Joining us now, Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist here at Oklahoma State University. Derrell, as we watch the markets these past few weeks, it's easy to think maybe we've started to finally back off those high prices. Where do we really sit?
You know, a couple of times earlier this year we thought the market had topped and it really hadn't, but you know, in the last couple of weeks we have seen the wholesale box beef price and the fed cattle price back down a little bit. It's clearly topped here in the short run, although that's not to say that we couldn't take another run at this before the end of the year. Feeder cattle prices, on the other hand, really haven't dropped very much. They've been a little bit volatile, kind of following some of the volatility in the feeder cattle futures market. So they dropped a little bit one week, but then they're right back up, you know, the next week after that, and really just kind of flattened out, I think, more so. Pretty much holding steady here at essentially record levels.
So what do those prices mean for stocker producers here in the state?
You know, we're getting, you know, towards the time when we can start thinking about planting, you know, wheat for winter forage. Conditions look fairly favorable, and these price levels, you know, they're a little scary because of the overall price level. And I think the sticker shock is there for producers and for lenders in many cases. But when you work through the math of the, you know, the lightweight prices relative to the heavyweight prices, there's actually a very good value of gain in the market right now. You know, typically the value of stocker gain is pretty closely related to feedlot cost of gain, and the feedlot cost of gain is going to go down as we move into this record corn crop we've got coming, and that should put some pressure on this stocker value of gain. And yet right now that's holding pretty well, and it may actually persist for some time before it corrects. So there seems to be a reasonably good opportunity in general for stocker production this fall.
All right, so then what's the right strategy for those producers to look at? What cattle do they buy and how long do they hold them?
Well, I think in terms of, you know, we've got choices about what size of cattle to buy, how much total weight to put on. It depends on your production parameters, how long you know, how much forage you have, how long you want to own them. But in general, I think the market favors, you know, you can buy a wide range of cattle from very lightweight stockers to, you know, something a little bit heavier maybe than we traditionally buy. So you've got flexibility there. You've also got flexibility on how much weight to put on. Basically, the value of gain right now is very good up to some fairly high feeder cattle weights. So you can think about putting, you know, not just 250 or 300 pounds, but up to 400 pounds in some cases on these animals if you buy them very light and own them a long time. So I think there's a lot of flexibility. I guess in general, even though we are at record prices, it looks like there's some potential for these stocker cattle to actually be as strong or stronger this fall, not seeing the seasonal pressure. And so, you know, buying sooner rather than later may actually be a good thing for stocker producers this fall.
Now, what about cow-calf producers? They've really got a lot of options right now.
Well, the cow-calf producer is clearly again in the driver's seat. You know, with these record prices, I don't expect much seasonal pressure on calf prices this fall. So, you know, we're just going to see unprecedented returns for cow-calf producers this fall. And really, you know, there's just not much that can mess that up. Producers certainly should consider, you know, whether they want to sell right off the cow. They can precondition. The value of preconditioning is there because the producers buying those calves clearly have a lot of incentive to pay a little extra and get something that has less death loss risk and sickness risk. So there's lots of options for cow-calf producers, but they're all pretty good at this point.
Nice change of pace, isn't it?
That's right.
All right, Derrell Peel, livestock marketing specialist here at Oklahoma State University.